Come on in the room. Oh, come on in the room.
Excuse me whilst I take my seat.
Jesus is my doctor. Hey, everybody, come on in the room. What do I say? Come on, come on.
Right. Come big, come small.
Come big, come small. Hey, everybody. Shout out to all of our good Judys and good Jonathans. Shout out to everybody. Look, it is 9:30 Central Standard Time somewhere, girl.
Right. Somewhere. It is.
What did you title tonight's video?
Storytime, financially married.
Ooh.
Emotionally single, honey.
Ooh, financially married, emotionally single. We finna dive into some story time.
What that mean?
Ooh. So for those of you guys who have never been with us, I am Candy Sincerely Johnson.
And I am Sean Johnson.
That's right. So first off, welcome. Second, shout out to everybody who's joining us live. Shout out to everybody who will catch the video as a replay on either platform. We appreciate you guys joining us. We ask that you hit that like button, hit that share button as you guys come on in. Say hi to us. What?
I was just... What's going on with this hat situation? It's cold
outside, girl. It's October. It was like 30-some degrees.
I know, but it's cocked. I don't know what... That's how it's supposed to be?
Well, you give a little ear on this side, and then you give a little cover all on this side. That's what I was trying. I was trying to give a little, he that has an ear, let him hear, and then a little cover all on that side. That's what I was trying to do.
Oh, okay. Well, girl,
you get what I'm saying?
Teach me something, because, girl, I didn't understand what was going on. I thought maybe you had made a mistake and hit it, and then it was caught to the side. I didn't know.
Okay. Well, I mean, y'all tell me. Vote. Say one. Say one, or say, you know what I'm saying? Give a little swag. Give a little, a little la-di-da, girl.
Okay.
Give a little,
Girl, don't mind me. Don't let me say nothing.
Because this will be two. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you take a picture, this is two. Girl, say one. Or say, you know what I'm saying? Or say two.
Okay. Girl, girl, okay. And see, I'm outvoted because everybody is saying two. So I mean, clearly,
Girl, Avery gonna say, I just asked the same question.
Avery, maybe you and
I just asked the same question.
Maybe you and I is the squares in the group. Okay, maybe we the L7s. Okay, maybe we, So.
No, y'all just the oldest in the comments. Moving on, girl. For tonight's topic.
Yes, let's get into the thing, honey. Let's get into the thing.
So we have a good conversation for you guys. So we're talking about the story time.
Yes,
and the topic is emotionally single, financially married.
Ooh, honey.
Emotionally, you've checked out, girl. But financially, you still tepid. You still need that every 2 weeks from over there, girl. Okay.
Now, you didn't get a chance to really fully tell me about this. So I'm looking forward to the conversation too, because you gave me like a little 5-second blurb and I was like, okay, but then we had other stuff going on.
Right. So here's the inspiration for tonight's topic, guys. This is the inspiration for tonight's topic. So I was scrolling through my timeline like only a good Judy can, girl. So I'm scrolling through my timeline and this Kendra G video pops up. Now, Kendra G is the host. She's a radio personality here in Chicago, but she also is known all over the world for her online dating show.
Yes.
So it was not one of the clips from her dating show. However, it was one of the clips from her being on WGCI, which is the radio station here. So she has this segment on WGCI where people write in, and they ask for love advice. And so she will give the female perspective. A lot of times her co-hosts, which are all males, they will give the male perspective. And then, girl, people will call, in and then give their 2 cents on what's going on,
Gotcha.
Right? So I happened to see this video clip, and I very rarely see anything outside of her dating show, video clips. And so I'm halfway through the video clip, girl, and then Kendi and Kayla walk in and ask me something. So you know how you don't want to lose your spot, girl. Your kids come in, they disturb you, you don't want to lose your spot. Right. And so you trying to come back to where you were, girl. So I hit the pause button and I answered the kids' questions and I was trying to go back to where I was. The video disappeared, girl. Couldn't get the video back up.
Are we stuck?
Let us know if we're stuck. Girl, let us know. Let us know over here if we're stuck.
Because you got the circle of death.
Girl, let us know. Let us know on Facebook. Instagram, we look like we're good over there.
We're good over there.
Let us know on Facebook if we're stuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Adriel said no. Rochelle said no. Okay, perfect.
All right.
So yeah, this is definitely going to be good. Dana said, oh my God, this one. So basically what happened was, so I did get the gist of the situation. The part that I missed is what everybody was saying.
Oh. Okay.
So now we're gonna have our own little conversation.
Okay.
Forget what they talking about. We're gonna bring it to the table, right? So basically the gist of the conversation was the lady had been married to her husband over 20 years.
Okay.
She had been married to her husband over 20 years. They had an adult son. You know how y'all do. You was pregnant when you got married, or your son was about 2 when, girl, nonetheless, girl. Whatever, girl. Because let you tell it, girl, you will saved, sanctified, and set apart when you, girl, whatever.
He was born in holy matrimony.
Girl, he was born, like Kayla said, he was born illegally, girl, is what happened. Anyway, so they have this adult son. The son has this longtime girlfriend. So the son has this longtime girlfriend, and the wife was writing into Kendra saying, look, I've been married to my husband over 20 years. He's having an affair. He's cheating on me with my son's girlfriend.
Wait, what?
My husband is cheating on me with my son's girlfriend. So I'm trying to figure out, should I stay or should I go?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. So hit the like button, hit that share button, okay? So basically, the wife was saying, number one, I've been with my husband for all of these years. Number two, we have children together. We have an established life. All right. Number three, I'm at this crossroads. I can no longer go straight. I can no longer continue as if I don't know. The path that we on, it hasn't been working for us. Right. So a decision now has to be made. I have to decide, am I going to stay or am I going to go?
Okay.
That was the question. So you know me and my little wheels. So my little wheels was like, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. Here's the forensic part of me, right? I love the forensic part. I'm the person who could take a hair follicle and drag the whole rest of the story and figure out everything that happened. Okay. You understand what I'm saying?
Enlighten us.
So what sis is really trying to decide is, see, she's in her late 40s, early 50s. Okay. Based on where she is in life. Okay? Everybody agree? Yeah. She's late 40s, early 50s. In my mind, as I'm listening to this tidbit of her life, I see the Black woman that's established in her career. Okay. Her husband is established. They have worked very hard to get where they are at this point. So she's thinking about the consequences of staying versus going. And so her lifestyle and her life and everything associated with it will look completely different starting over versus staying. Yeah. So you got the emotional piece. He hurt you. You in your feelings. You love him. That's your man, girl. Y'all been together for all these years. You love him. But then outside of that, we have to protect the bag. We have to talk about the bag. Oh. And we have to talk about everything that she would have to give up. And it was not her fault. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why I came up with the title, Emotionally Single, Financially Married. What do you think? What would you do? This is your best friend calling. What advice would you give?
Well, first of all, you know, in most situations, they always be like, for the girls who get cheated on, they like, how can you get mad at the woman? She didn't know nothing about you, da 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 da. that's not the case in this situation, because if you are my son's girlfriend, you are fully aware of what's happening and what's going on and the fact that I'm present and everything that's happening. So before I get into the financially married, emotionally single piece of it, I'm going to have to whoop that ass, okay? Because...
You gonna put your hands on the little girl?
Because you were fully aware of what was going on.
Okay, so in my mind, and I'm not trying to be messy. Let's not be messy, but let's just state facts. Some of y'all got sons that's that age. Some of y'all got sons that's dating and they girlfriends have been over to the house. Right? Right or wrong, right? You know, like I know, you done cook for her. You done cook for her. She done slid her feet up under your table. Y'all might have been shopping together. Y'all might have took family vacations together. Y'all done been out to eat together. It's deeper than just, oh, she came by the house a time or two.
So there's that piece of it, okay? Because I've got to have a full-fledged conversation with the little girl, okay? That has to happen. All right, now that I'm done with that, that was the initial part of me. All right, now let's get back to the, why she might be torn as to why she should stay or go.
Because we're looking at this thing, just to keep everything on topic, we're looking at it from a financial
perspective.
From a financial perspective.
Yeah. So this is my thing. So if this was my best friend calling me like, girl, let me tell you, I just found out, I have to find out, okay, financially. Was there, because I don't know, like, are y'all well off or not? Was there a prenup involved? Okay, let's figure that out.
Probably not, because they've been together so long, they ain't had no money in the beginning.
Right, they didn't have money in the beginning.
I'm going to venture to say no.
So 9 times out of 10, there was no prenup. We ain't got to worry about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Secondly, so if you divorce, okay, that's fine. Depending on what state you in, you got to figure out, what does that look like? Do I get half? Like, what am I walking away with? Then you have to decide, am I able to live on half of the lifestyle that I was accustomed to? Okay. Half of the life that I was accustomed to. Put a 1 in the comments if you were able to live off of half of what you have coming in your household right now. Just half. Whether you're married, single, dating, whatever. If you literally took your income, no matter where it's coming from, and just chopped it in half and just threw the other half in the garbage, would you be able to survive off of half of what you have going on? Put a 1 in the comments, because if you are, kudos to you. Okay? That means that you might be living modestly, whatever. But if you could not, put a 2 in the comments. So, if you could not, put a 2 in the comments if you can't live off of half of what you have coming in the household right now.
So here's what I've come to know. Over the years of being in the financial services realm, I had thousands of clients. I had clients who came to us and they was renting an apartment and they was just getting started and they had not 2 quarters to rub together. And they just wanted to get renter's insurance.
Right.
We had a billionaire client or 2, you get what I'm saying, who had just sold his company overseas for over $1 billion.
Yes.
And we had everybody in between. Here's what that experience and dealing with people from all walks of life have taught me. Historically, Black and brown people marry for love. We marry for love. He or she is handsome. They're kind to me. We have similar values. We have a good time together. We got together when we were young and then got, whatever, right? That's typically when we find a mate, that's typically what we're working with, right?
Right.
Everybody else do it because it's good for business, right? Financially, it makes sense. This person comes from good stock. You come from good stock. This person comes from a middle-class background. You come from a middle-class background. And everybody, even from the outside looking in, can see once we put A plus B, y'all gonna be able to, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every other race do it because it makes sense for the collective. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what we typically find is in our community, when you're looking at leaving your marriage, you have to think about factors on the exit that you didn't think about on the entrance. Right? Like you said, sis is at that point, sis is in her late 40s, early 50s. Now, what the letter didn't tell us is this your only child or do you have other kids? Because chances are, if they have a 20-year-old, then you might have kids a little bit older. You might have kids a little bit younger. Yeah. They could have kids in college. They could have other kids. So again, going back to these financial discussions, her leaving could impact her sending one of her kids to college.
Oh gosh, so much.
Her leaving could impact her plans or her ability to retire or have savings or be able to start a business or whatever, be able to invest, whatever it is that she's doing. There's so many different things that could impact. If she's in her late 40s, early 50s, she's also at that age where she has aging parents.
Yeah.
We're at that age where a lot of us are financially responsible for our parents. Or if we're not, we're about to be.
Yeah.
So her making the decision to leave this man, she got other people on her back.
It's so many layers.
You get what I'm saying? It's so many layers to this. So a lot of times when y'all see people in relationships and people be like, oh, she should stay, she should go, she should do this, she should do that. We're making emotional decisions.
Yeah.
Other races are playing chess. We sitting at the table playing checkers. We sitting at the table playing checkers. And a lot of times when we think back to our elders, ladies, when we think back to our elders, and guys, if y'all watching, chime in too. When we think back to our elders, a lot of young people be like, grandmama and them, they dealt with too much, blah, 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 blah. Grandmama was sitting at the table playing chess. She knew as a woman, especially back in the 40s and 50s and all that, what was she supposed to do with 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 kids? And no male protection or covering.
I was just going to say, because her husband was more than that. Her husband was a provider. He was he was security to keep her safe, physically and otherwise. It was companionship. It was all of the things. Like, it was a way to build on your life. Like, your partner, your spouse was not just somebody who made you feel good.
Tiffany Smith Bell said, girl, what happened to Candy's hat? It's cock busy. Look, Tiffany, at the beginning of the video, we said, should we do number 1? Or should we do number 2? Girl, everybody said number 2. Everybody said number 2.
This was her swagger. So
girl, this is
swagger, girl.
Yeah, this is Candy, girl. This is Candace. It's cold outside. Candace is pumping gas, girl. It's cold outside. It's 30-something degrees in the shy, girl. This is Candace, girl. This girl.
Oh, TSB said y'all have the best and most informative discussions. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And so,
thank you, boo.
And so my thing is, when it comes to this situation with this woman having to figure out, whether she should stay or whether she should go, and we talk about all the layers that's involved in that, it's one of those things where, okay, if she does play chess in your example, instead of playing checkers and emotionally, she's like, I'm done, and you hurt me or whatever, and just be like, okay, we're gonna have to stick this thing out. Okay, so what does that then look like? So is it a situation where, like you said, we're only financially married? So then do we, are we just business partners at this point? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how do you navigate that piece? Or is it a situation where, we walk away from this situation right now as business partners, so to speak, so that we can make sure that we keep our children's lifestyle the way it should be, our lifestyle the way that it should be, all of our future plans the way they should be, and all of that. And then maybe the feelings and stuff will rekindle and come back, because that can happen too. You know what I'm saying? Where you go into it like, yeah, I'm done with you. But then over time, the anger decreases, the hurt decreases, everything starts to settle down. Then you realize, okay, it was a blip in the road and we just gonna keep pushing forward. So that's another thing.
And see, this is why these discussions are so necessary in our community, is because a lot of times we arrive at the party when everybody packing up the food and getting ready to leave. We start to think about stuff, or go to our, thank you very much, Angelita, for the stars. Thank you very, very much for the stars. We think about things after the fact.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We become, if you guys are football fans, we become the what they say, the Monday morning quarterback.
Yeah.
It's easy to watch the tape and be like, oh man, I wish I would have, or I should have did this, or I should have did that, or whatever. A lot of people shy away from these financial conversations, but these are the kind of conversations that you have to have, right? Let's use Sean and I as an example. You guys who have been rocking with us for a long time know several years ago, we were married, we got a divorce, right? I'm not ashamed to tell you guys, our mortgage for our house is about give or take a few dollars, about $1,400 for the mortgage, right? When Sean left the house, that $1,400 was no longer our responsibility. That $1,400 was my responsibility. But then what it meant was that if we would have remained separate longer than just that short time that we remained separate, Sean would have had to go out and find another place. And she would have been paying about $1,400 over there. Or if she downsized, that would have been $1,000. But guess what? Stay here for me. Stay here for me. That $1,000 or that $1,400 or whatever it was that she would have had over there across town, that would have been $1,400 less that they had access to. You understand what I'm saying? Even the best co-parent situation, that would have meant, okay, we looking at budgets, right? Okay, well, what does this mean? Because if she's paying $1,400 over there and I'm paying $1,400 over here, that means private school, homeschool, because you still pay tuition for that, amen?
Okay.
We got to scale back on that, okay? Fine, whatever, right? Them sports and them activities, don't worry about that. We got to scale back from that. That has to come from somewhere. You got to skin some fat somewhere. And so what started off as our problem now done trickled down and became four people problem. You get what I'm saying? The issue just continues to spread. Now, don't make no mistake about it. I'm not saying to stay in a situation that you're not happy with.
Right.
Stay in a situation that's toxic for you, that doesn't serve you. At that point, you have to weigh your options. But one of the beauties in what we do is we have financial conversations so that, number one, if you're single, you need to be getting your ducks in order because it's just you.
Yep.
There are no guarantees in life. Okay? So if you're single, you need to make sure you're financially savvy because at the end of the day, you might be going into retirement and it's just you. You need to make sure you're okay no matter what the situation. If you're married, there's still no guarantees.
Right.
There's still no guarantees. TSB said she was divorced. Sean and Candy are technically still divorced. I'm going to give you another example. As soon as I came home last night from Kennedy softball game, my mom was calling me, telling me a family friend passed away. Suddenly, without warning, not sick at all, no warning, 41 years old. 41 years old. A young lady that I grew up with is now a widow, 41 years old. Her husband is deceased. You understand what I'm saying? You don't know what life has around the corner for you.
Yeah.
So it's that be ye also ready. So a lot of times couples want to sit down and or people find our content. Even when we used to have financial discussions before, and people would be like, oh man, I really think we need to do something. We need to get one of your ebooks or get on your calendar or whatever, but I need to talk to my husband. Well, all due respect, this ain't no community decision.
Right.
You got to do what's best for you. If buying that next handbag, buying that next wig, getting your hair done, getting your nails done, if you don't consult him for that, you don't consult him for this.
Right.
And I'm not saying do anything behind your spouse's back, but I'm saying sometimes, ladies, it's good to submit and follow, and sometimes it's good to lead. But women know how to be savvy enough. Even if you want something bad enough, even if you be like, Daddy, look, Sean do it to me all the time. How you spend that thing to make me feel like it was my idea?
So I know that you've been talking to me and you've been telling me how we really need to be focusing on our future and what that looks like as far as the kids are concerned. And so I feel like you are really leading us in the right direction. And so I came across
it's the arm touch for me.
And so I came across this website. It's this lady, Candy. She real cool. She real funny too. But I came across
she look like a man.
Stop.
Oh.
So I came across this website, CandySincerityJohnson.com, and she has this really dope ebook.
But she looking like a man.
No, but listen. But she has this ebook about the financial transformation. It's like a ton of stuff. It's got all this information about how to plan for the future and all these things. And I think that some of the things that's in it aligns with what you were saying. And it's like less than $30. Like it's super cheap. And so I just feel like that's something that we could benefit from.
It's the arm touch and it's the back. You see what I'm saying? Y'all can get. I got lost in the conversation. I didn't even know what we was going. You get what I'm saying? Women know how to get whatever they want. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
You know how to go to them when you want that upgrade to your ring, or you know how to go to them when you want, you know what I'm saying, that outfit that you saw that you think you would be sharp in, or them shoes that you like. Well, go and tell him or her, hey, listen here. I found something that's going to be amazing for our future.
Yeah, yeah. And because, like I said, it just makes sense. It makes sense because this story, I was just like, in my mind, like I said, I caught Kendra's version of summarizing what the letter said, right? When the lady was writing there for advice. And in my mind, I kept saying, this is a no-brainer. This man has violated your trust. Yes. This man has crossed boundaries, not only with you, but with you guys as child.
Yeah, with your son.
You know what I'm saying? This man has been, he's a liar. He's manipulative. He don't let her, I'm sure she done been in your face, in your house after he been dealing with her, all the things. So leaving him would be a no-brainer unless, in my mind, and I could be wrong. In my mind, it was the unless. Leaving him would be a no-brainer unless there was something that you was probably gonna lose. Right. There was something that your kids was probably gonna lose. There was some sacrifices that would have been unfair to you. Right. You get what I'm saying? It just.
Ooh, child. Ooh, child.
Girl, I don't know. In my mind, I don't know. Yeah. Dana said the partnership is great, but I can maintain my lifestyle on my own.
Come on.
Yes.
You gotta say it.
Yeah. I just, and that's, I feel like that's one of the things that a lot of people are struggling with, right? So if you could, when we look at everything that's going on in the world, where everybody's saying it's a recession, people saying it's not a recession, and people, whatever, we know, whatever, right? But at the end of the day, that's one of the things that we're seeing the most is that for so long in this country, the economy has been playing musical chairs. And everybody been going around the chairs and everybody having a good time at the party. And then the music stopped. The music has stopped. And there's a lot of people who don't have a chair. And there's a lot of people who don't have a chair. And a lot of people don't have a chair. Sometimes some people it's their fault and some people it's not. Right? Everybody's circumstance is very personal. But it goes back to what Dana said. She can maintain herself because she's not over leveraged. Right? Most people in the world are over leveraged. They're over leveraged. We live in a day and time where culture tells you if you can get approved for 50,000, girl, take the 50,000. If you can get approved for this or whatever, max it out, ride it out, get it, whatever. And so, everybody's making these payments on stuff. And then when income go down, then the music stop and people are like, oh my God.
What I was going to do.
Girl, you see people pulling their hair out. You see what I'm saying? Because people are over leveraged.
Yeah.
So it begs the question, if you're over leveraged, how do you untangle Charlotte's web? There's a whole process in what you need to do to untangle Charlotte's web. It's very possible. There's definitely hope, but at the end of the day, a lot of people are not in that situation where they can ride it out and it's just them.
Yeah.
A lot of people cannot. So a lot of people find themselves in these situations where married, relationship, whatever, they're in situations that they genuinely don't even want to be in anymore, that don't even serve them because
of the financial piece.
The financial piece, girl.
Yeah.
The financial piece. The financial piece. You want to read some comments?
Onika said a lot of people can't or are unacceptable to simplifying their lives. I can't go back up because you went out.
Okay.
So
yeah.
So I want to know, does anybody, do you want to do Q&A with our best friends? If anybody has any questions in regards to what you just said or anything that they may be contemplating themselves?
Yeah, if you guys have any questions related to this topic or anything else financial, let me know. Let me know. let's open up the floor if you guys have any questions or anything.
Patty said, my point is, if someone is not in love with you, don't get mad, talk things out and stay friends, especially if kids are involved.
Yeah. Now, and this is just me. This is what life has taught me. In the very beginning, when we were having our issues, and we've told this story in live before. Kennedy and Caleb were very small, and they came to us and they said, "We want y'all to try again." You remember that?
Yep.
They said, "We want y'all to try again. You know, we don't want you going your way, you going your way, and potentially dating somebody. We don't want to build a bare family, right?
Yeah.
We like it tight and we like it right. We like the four of us. So whatever y'all need to do as adults to go behind closed doors to talk it out, figure it out, whatever. We want y'all to do that, and we want to stay together as a family." And so in the very beginning, Sean and I looked at each other and we was both like, "Girl, we want this." We were done. When we said we were done, girl, we were done. We weren't saying that for clicks and views, girl. We ain't really getting no clicks and views, girl. When we said we were done, we were done. Yeah. We were done before we even announced that we were done. Yeah. Okay. But it's something about when your kids make a request. Can I be honest? So for us in the very beginning, that's what it was about. Yeah. And for a lot of people, they judged us and they didn't understand that. But that's what it started as. And the more time we spent together, the more I was like, "You still my best friend." And then after you stop being my best friend, I still love you. And then she started to be beautiful to me again. And then it just went from there, right? So, you know, I don't know. Everybody's situation is different. And I'm not saying that works for everybody, you know, but for us, if we were single, we probably would have been left.
Yeah, like if we didn't have kids.
Because what would have been keeping us here?
Yeah, what would be the point? Like there would have been no reason for me to come to the house to do it just wouldn't have been.
Yeah. You know, but when you have kids and you think about financially what that's gonna do to everybody, and you think about, you know, not only is that a short-term financial sacrifice for the kids, if she's paying rent over there or mortgage over there and I'm paying stuff over here, we even though at the time, like they're 8 now, they'll be 9 next month. They were like, what, 5?
Yeah.
You know, even by the time they're 18, girl, we probably still wouldn't have been able to help them through school.
Right.
So even long term, it would have been a huge sacrifice. So I don't know.
Dana said, my parents prepared me for self-management. Every deal I make is done by me considering my numbers, my assets alone. So although my husband's income is included in the calculations, he sees my sidebar calculations are what determines my buy-in.
Yes, I love it.
She said, because life happens. So she knows that other income is there. However, she's like, before I make a decision, is this a decision that I can hold on my own if I need to?
Yeah.
So that if for whatever something happens, she's still good. But while everything is still fine, that means she's even more comfortable because she's working in a space where she's only contemplating or only considering her income.
Yeah. Very smart. So, okay. So, and it's important that you guys take this from the conversation. In no way, shape, form, or fashion am I or would I ever tell somebody to do something behind their partner or their spouse's back.
Right.
But I'm a firm believer in people staying together because they want to stay together. What if you can create the situation where everybody is financially strong? You got 2 strong towers. Those 2 strong towers come together and they're together because they want to be together. I don't want to ever, now we did it in the past. We just told you guys our transparent story. We did it in the past and we stayed together because the kids emotionally, they wanted us to stay together. And if we can be honest, financially, it probably was a little bit of relief for both of us, right? But now fast forward a few years later and we're in a better spot. I want everybody in a perfect world to be there because they want to be there. Yeah. Never be in a situation where you're there because you have to be there. You understand the difference? So I don't want anybody to be like, okay, well, I'm doing this, or I got this account on the side, or I got, whatever. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you want to financially strong people to come together and build.
Yeah.
It's not going to benefit anybody for somebody to be relying on somebody else, or, you know what I'm saying? And so that's got to be the conversation. That's got to be the conversation. It's got to be transparent.
Yeah.
It's got to be transparent. So.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. How do you think this is going to end for these people that wrote, the lady that wrote that letter? What do you think she's going to eventually do?
I don't know. It's so hard because if she's like most women, it's probably going to be an emotional decision.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to walk away like, I'm done. And you betrayed me and you betrayed our son and so on and so forth. And the fact that she is writing to Kendra to even get advice tells me that she's contemplating leaving probably more so than not. Because if you weren't contemplating leaving, you wouldn't even be reaching out to anybody. You'd be working on whatever your plan looks like, in my opinion. So the fact that you're reaching out, and sometimes people reach out just because they're trying to get confirmation on what they're already thinking anyway. So, you know, it depends on if she's like advice shopping. You know, I tell you guys about advice shopping. You can just keep shopping around till you find the answer that you want, and then you land on that and you're like, well, yeah, because such and such said. Okay, so you didn't really want advice. You were just trying to find confirmation.
Yeah.
So
TSB said, let's plan the second wedding already.
Girl.
You wouldn't hear me again?
I did not say that.
She said, let's look at the body language, shall we? Rewind the tape. Roll back that beautiful being footage, shall we? Girl, I'm sitting over here lying. She said, girl.
Because girl, look how long we've been talking about that.
Girl. Now listen, this is
Wait,
what I would say. This is what I would say. I would marry Sean tomorrow. That's not a question. I love Sean. I love Sean. I love Sean. The thing about it is, y'all would be so damn disappointed in the whole process.
What you saying?
Girl, we would be right down at the courthouse.
Oh, yeah.
We dress for the wedding. Y'all dress for the wedding?
We dress right now. Ta-da!
We dress for the wedding.
Is everybody ready?
Everybody ready to go? But no phones in the courthouse, so we couldn't even go live, girl.
Right, so that's it.
You understand what I'm saying?
But I will be honest with you guys. I'm not saying it like that because of Candy. I'm saying that because of my side of the table. There's some stuff that I need to work out first before that even is considered. Okay, so I'll just leave it like that. Like,
so in other words, she's saying she don't feel that way.
I'm saying yeah. But if I walk down anybody's aisle with this woman again, the Justice of the Peace aisle, the sand aisle, the wedding aisle, I don't care whose aisle, the Walmart aisle, okay, before I walk down any aisle with this woman again, I have to be confident and know that I am going to be the best partner for her and give her what she deserves and what she needs.
Aww,
so I'll just leave it like that.
That's sweet.
Okay.
That's sweet. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah. Dana said Sean will marry you tonight. Girl, she just told y'all, she was like, nah, girl, it ain't her, it's me. You know, girl, that's how you let people down gently, girl. You be like, you know what? It's not you, it's me, girl. No, it was them the whole time. Okay.
Girl, we should do a Q&A video one night and just let people go for broke, but you got to get stars to ask questions.
A Q&A about what? About
people be having questions.
About anything?
People be wanting to ask stuff.
What you think people ask questions about that?
Mm-hmm. People be wanting to ask questions. I bet you people be wanting to ask questions.
You so crazy.
Yeah, okay. She said that's right. Sometimes we feel like we need to work on ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I totally agree. You know, and I feel like we're all a work in progress. I even asked Kennedy and Caleb one time. I said, if we got remarried, would you guys want to go?
These kids.
They were like, no.
Is it going to be a Disney? No? Okay, no. I don't want to go. Nope. I'm not interested. I was like, Kennedy was like, all that romantic stuff, it's too much. I was like, wow.
Why are some of my comments?
Your comments are a fool.
I know. Onika said, Candy, what Sean saying, she wants to confirm within herself and she's giving you the best version of herself this time around. No, I agree, and I truly believe that. I truly believe that because I don't know. I didn't get the best version of Sean the last time. If I could be honest,
she did. It was very unfair.
I didn't get the best version of Sean the last time, and I feel like, and this is not just me playing victim. I feel like I gave her the best version of me that I had. And in return, I don't feel like I got the best version of her. So I respect that and I do receive that because we've grown from that place. So I'm good with that. I'm good with that. But tying the financial piece back into the conversation, I know that over the past several years, we've worked very hard to build businesses. And, you know, we have kids and we often talk offline about generational wealth and what we want our legacy to be even after we're gone. And so it makes sense, even from a legal perspective, even outside of like businesses and us having split ownership and shared ownership and all that in both companies, it still makes sense and it's easier financially if we're married. Yeah. If we're married, right? So, you know, that's something that we often talk about as well. You know, we see celebrities all the time. Somebody suddenly passes away and then that person's estate is held up in court and the family's doing X, Y, and Z. I don't want that. And then a lot of stuff that people don't know is when all of that stuff is held up in probate court, the family don't get as much. There's a huge portion taken out. Yeah. Just because people didn't have the right paperwork in line, in place. So, you know, when we talk about it from a logical perspective, again, going back to every other culture, right? Everything is business with us. We give each other warm and fuzzies, but it's at the end of the day, we come to the table and it's business. And our love making is good, but our financial love making is better. Come on, financial love making. So for us, we understand the assignment. We understand the goal is to get back to together on paper. But at the same time, I still have to respect this woman's process and know that the emotional piece was missing the first time around. And so, you know, we need to make sure that that's in place to the level that we need it to be.
Does that say Donna? I can't see, child.
Damo. Oh, that's Dominique.
Oh, so Damo said, can you settle that? Thank you for your question, Dominique. She said, can you settle that with a will when you were talking about probate court and stuff like that?
So, Dominique, it depends on what you're trying to accomplish, right? So the answer is yes and no, which I know is not answering your question at all. It depends. When you say what the goal is, then that's going to point you to what paperwork you need to have in place, right? Are you trying to just leave a house? Are we talking about life insurance policies? Are we talking about savings account, investment accounts? Are we talking about business ownership? All of the things, right? Let's just talk about business ownership, for example. Sean and I both own Sincerity Johnson, which is our other business. If I were to die, if Sean was to die, that leaves another owner, correct? Now, what a lot of people don't know with a business is that not only do you get the revenue from the business, but at any point in time, whether it's today, 10 years from now, or even if we want to pass the business to Kennedy, you could sell that business and it's profitable. So this is a tidbit for anybody who's thinking about starting a business. In the e-commerce space, when you have an online business, typically you could sell that business for, what did I say before?
Wasn't it 1.5?
No, it was more than that. Roughly about 3 times whatever your gross sales are for the business.
Get y'all pen and paper, y'all.
Right? So let's say your little online boutique do about $400,000 or $500,000 a year. You could theoretically sell that business for 3 times that, which would be like $1.5 million. So if I died tomorrow and Sean was like, girl, I don't want to do all this by myself. Or if Sean passed away, Sean is the face of the brand. It probably wouldn't make sense for me to continue it. Then I would look to a business broker to try to list and sell the business. But again, it goes back to tying everything back to your question. if you tell me what you're trying to accomplish and where you are and what you have, then I will point you to the right paperwork or what you need to have in place, the right vehicle.
Yeah, the right option.
The right vehicle. Because all of these things are just vehicles to get you to whatever your goal is.
Yeah.
And so that's the part that our culture, that urban culture, I'll say urban culture, that's the part that a lot of people miss, is that all of these things, although they're boring, we talk about wills and estates and trust and all of these things, it's boring to have these conversations, but what you have to think is these are just tools in your toolbox to solve a problem, right? And so a lot of times what I would do when I would sit down with people and we were trying to figure out what they needed is I would say, okay, where are you? Where are you, single woman? Where are you, single man? Where are you, married couple? Where are you, divorced couple? Where are you? What's your income? What's your debt? What's your plan? What's your goal? You know, when do you, okay, if this is the goal, you want to retire, you work in this job. You want to retire when you want to retire. How much do you want to have when you retire? And then what we do is, and this is exactly what I do in my consulting calls with you guys, is we reverse engineer everything out. We reverse engineer everything out. And then I say to you, okay, well, let's talk through, and this is on the personal side. This is not the business consulting. Then we talk through, well, what can happen, right? So, Sean, you tell me you know, you're 42, you want to retire when you're 50. Okay. What can stop you from retiring at 50? And Sean might say, well, I might get sick. I might get hurt. What if I die? What if the economy tank and I don't make the money that I thought I was going to make? You know, we talk through all of the what ifs, and then we put tools and strategies in place so that even if the what if happens, you still good. You get what I'm saying? We plug up holes in the boat before the water even come in.
There you go.
That's my job with you. My job is to see around corners that you can't see around.
Or that you don't even think about.
Or that you don't even know exist. So the mission, when I was a State Farm agent for all of those years, the company's mission was to help you recover, to help you realize your dreams, and recover from the unexpected.
Come on, spit that slogan out.
Girl, they had me brainwashed.
Look at you, girl.
But it's good because it's true, right? If your dream is to retire and not work for the rest of your life like we seen grandmama and them do, if your dream is to retire at a certain point, I would be doing you a disservice if we didn't properly plan for the what if. You think people who have breast cancer, we in Breast Cancer Awareness Month, you think that women thought they was going to have breast cancer?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You think my friend thought her husband, when she got up yesterday morning, was going to die at 41? There's so many things that can happen in life, and those are not fun conversations, but they're necessary.
Very necessary.
They're necessary. To talk about the recession, to talk about, man, so we talk about what should you be doing to prepare, right? But we also get to talk about the fun part. When the economy is up, what you're supposed to be doing to get that bag up higher, right? You know, now we're playing defense, right? What can we do to make sure the other team don't score too many points? What do we do to make sure you don't lose everything you got, to protect what you got? We're protecting home plate for my baseball fans. We're protecting home plate. You know, so, I mean, but at the end of the day, yeah.
And you know what was always so eye-opening, because sometimes I would, because Candy taught me how to do those same type of meetings, like when because sometimes her calendar would be super full. It was like crazy when she was State Farm agent. So she taught me how to have some of those similar conversations. Trust and believe you want to meet with her, not me. Okay, I'm just saying. I was the student, not the teacher. Okay, but what was so enlightening to me,
you did very well.
What I thought was enlightening to me when I used to sit in and kind of shadow her and watch her do these conversations, especially with couples, is it was so amazing to see how you can be sitting in a room with a married couple that maybe have been married for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and they have such a different outlook on things. And because they had never had the conversation, they didn't even realize how far off base they were. Like you should be sitting there and be like, okay, where do you guys see yourselves in 5 years? And then the wife would say something, the husband would say something, and then they'd look at each other like, we ain't even going in the right direction. Well, how you gonna get to the destination if y'all ain't even going in the right direction?
Yep. Yeah.
So
everybody getting up running, everybody getting up hustling and grinding, and we don't even know if we rowing the boat. We getting up rowing the boat. We don't even know if we rowing the boat in the same direction.
Y'all might be going in a circle because you rowing forward and he rowing backward, or he or she or whoever's rowing backward, and y'all are doing like this because you're not even going in the right direction.
You're not going in the right direction. Yep. Yeah.
And sometimes it takes that outside party to come in and reel you in to make you have that conversation. Because I've heard times too where people be like, we can't talk about money like that late, or it's too hard, or it's too much, or whatever. And sometimes it takes that outside party to come in to help guide that conversation.
Yeah. So, and it's so crazy because we used to have the classes where we had a singles class and then we had a married couples class. But it was very reminiscent to, like, the way that I set it up was very reminiscent to Bible study. So if you guys have ever tuned in to Bible study, like with a church online or whatever, you meet every week, you pick up where you left off, and it's a community, right? But everybody's learning. And I used to do like a 4-week married couples class, or a 6-week married couples class, or a 4-week singles class. You get what I'm saying? And we would dive into these very topics, and you would walk away with homework, and we would come back and everybody would talk, and it was a thing. And everybody was growing. And so I don't know, like I might have to bring that back one day, but yeah, I'm talking about that's what the culture needs. That's what's necessary. It has to happen, because these conversations that's not happening are not happening with us because our parents didn't have them. And so therefore we're not having them with our kids.
Yeah.
We're not having them with our kids. And one of the things that my bestie said, Avriel, was, she said, they're sitting and waiting for the crash, right? So many of us are sitting here biting our nails, stressed out, because we don't know what's around the corner. But there's some people who cutting back right now because they trying to stack their poker chips. They trying to stack their coins because they finna play Monopoly, girl. They grabbing houses, hotels, girl, gas. If it ain't nailed down, they're ready to buy, because somebody's misfortune is somebody else's fortune.
Yeah.
Sadly, we had a conversation, and we told you guys on the other video, we had a conversation with Kenny and Caleb. Sean's birthday is November 6th. The twins' birthday is November 19th. And I told them, I said, it was literally downloaded to me. I have to take my coaching business to the next level. We can no longer just serve people based on word of mouth alone. There's a whole group of people who don't even know what's sitting in front of them, what they have access to, and we have to make that available. And in order to take our coaching company to the next level, I have to put time, money, resources, everything into that. So I told Sean and the kids, I was like, that's ads, that's building out a website, that's all kinds of stuff we got to put into this. So with that being said, it's going to look thin for birthdays, Christmas, everything. But like I told them, I'm not just going to make you sacrifice in November and December. I'm sacrificing in March for my birthday too, in order for the goal to be reached. Because like Avriel said, some people are out here playing checkers and some people are playing chess. That's me understanding that, hey, majority of the world is not ready for what's happening. And that's okay. But if we have the solution to the problem, it will benefit us to make sure the world knows about the solutions. Right?
Absolutely. So there's two things on the floor. Dana said, okay, let's look at a more simpler thing, something more personal to people. Many people don't know that they should have a beneficiary form completed with their financial institutions, because if you pass, your spouse or family cannot just go in and empty and close an account. Money left in accounts are donated per the bank's choosing. That's facts. It's one of those things where, if you got an account and nobody else's name on it, or like she said, you don't have a beneficiary form, that money just sits there. Avriel said, why do you think money talk is so uncomfortable in our culture?
Because it's a generational thing. So I think habits are made and broken on a generational level. And so oftentimes we find ourselves when it comes to religion, when it comes to our belief system, we oftentimes don't challenge what we were taught. Mm-hmm. We just do stuff because that's how it's always been.
Yeah.
You ask people, why do you believe in the Bible? Why do you believe in God? Why do you vote Democrat? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? People get very defensive. Mm-hmm. But at the core, it's only because somebody before them told them that this is what you do, right? Why do we often not have financial conversations? It's because our parents and our grandparents taught us you don't ask people how much they make. You don't ask people about money. You don't talk about these certain things. We don't know why we don't talk about it. We just don't. And so when Sean and I were working at State Farm, we were very young. You know, I was 22 when we opened our first office, something like that. I was one of the youngest State Farm agents in history. And so for this company to trust me with this multi-million-dollar business and send me through over a year of training just to learn this stuff and get licensed and take all of these exams and all of this stuff, I learned so much stuff. And every single day I would come home from training and I would tell Sean, and I'd be like, ooh. And she would be like, what? Mm-hmm. Sean grew up on the south side of Chicago. I grew up lower to middle class in Joliet, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. Nobody was talking about this stuff. Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody still talking about it in our families. And that don't make them bad or wrong, but we typically just do what people before us did, and we don't question it. But every other culture, they openly talk about this stuff. Mm-hmm. And they share ideas and they share knowledge. And when they learn something new, they don't just keep it to themselves. They share that. And when somebody gets to the next level, pay off a bill, improve their credit, learn a saving strategy, have an investment tip, they come together as a collective. Mm-hmm. See, we have this you versus I mentality. We feel like if I know something good, I can't tell you, I can't share it with you. You get what I'm saying? And we don't have a abundance mindset on average. We think we do, but we really don't. We really don't. And we don't challenge the status quo. Mm-hmm. Right? I had a conversation, and you guys, we've talked about it before, girl. It's been a long-term fight with my family about why we homeschool our kids versus sending them to traditional school. But one of the reasons is because there's no financial literacy being taught in school. Mm-hmm. I don't care about you knowing all the parts of a bear in science class. I want to know that you're going to be able to survive and thrive in life. So we have a whole hour on a daily basis almost built out for financial literacy. We're going through Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We're going through the 4 quadrants. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This is stuff, and it begs the question, why don't they talk about this stuff in school? Because historically, John Rockefeller, I believe it was John Rockefeller, still to this day is the wealthiest man in the world, in the history of the world. He put millions of dollars into the school system and said, this is not to be discussed. I don't want to create a nation of thinkers. I want to create a nation of workers. Mm-hmm. Meaning we groom people from birth to go through the school system to teach them how to learn information, regurgitate it, and do the same thing over and over again. Mm-hmm. We've been programmed. We've all been programmed. We've been programmed over and over again to get up and do the same thing over and over again. Ever since birth, we've all been programmed. What they're doing is they're trying to program you to be perfect employees. Mm-hmm. When you become perfect employees, you go out, you get a job, but you're still on the hamster wheel. Even if you got a 6-figure job, you only able to make enough to show up the next day for more money, mm-hmm. right? And it's this cycle, right? It's this cycle. John Rockefeller never wanted people to grow up and think and read and challenge status quo and all of these things because he didn't want nobody competing with him in business. His family still got a dynasty and is one of the largest families in the history of the world. You understand what I'm saying? We're talking about systematic stuff. And so it's one of those things where everybody's a part of this vicious cycle, and so many people think they woke and they not woke. Mm-hmm. We think we woke till we realize we not woke.
Yeah.
Majority of the people talking about stay woke. Girl, you still sleep. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It's because you have to sit down and say, I'm a strip. And this is what we did. I'm going to strip everything that I was ever taught. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take it all off and I'm going to put it on the table. And I'm going to just say why. Me and Sean had a conversation and girl, it got ugly. Right? But I kept doing it to her. I was like, she was reading the Bible. Why are you reading the Bible? Why?
I was like, because I'm supposed to know what's in it.
Why? You praying to Jesus Christ? Why? Just why? I kept whining. And at the end of the day, she was getting defensive and we were going back and forth. And it's not that I don't have the same belief system, but what I'm saying is sometimes you got to strip everything you've been taught. You have to unlearn to relearn. You understand what I'm saying? You have to unlearn to relearn. And you have to say, what if I haven't been getting the truth all my life?
Right.
And what if I have not been feeding my spouse and my family the truth all of their lives? And what if this is completely different than I thought? Mm-hmm. And what if I have to figure out what's real for me?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that everybody should be business owners and homeschool their kids. That's not reality for most people. I think 87% of businesses fail, girl. Like the odds are still even against us because we're still within the first 5 years. Yeah. But I'm saying if ever I had to go back and get a 9 to 5, I would still document the process and tell y'all after I get off work, I'm coming back to the table and we're going to keep trying. Mm-hmm. We're going to keep trying because I still believe that of the two paths, for me, this is the better path. Because even when I worked for State Farm, even when I had those 2 offices, at the end of the day, what made me leave that opportunity, again, my family didn't understand it. I told them, Kennedy and Caleb were 2 or 3 years old. I can't pass this down to them. Right. I can't pass this down to Sean. I don't own it. They keep telling me that I own it, but at the end of the day, it's like a franchise. Mm-hmm. If I die today, if I die tomorrow, everything goes back to corporate. So I'm just a glorified employee, and I don't like that. Mm-hmm. I would rather build something from my crib and document every step of the journey, whether it look ghetto, whether it makes sense or not. I'd rather document the process because what that does is that shows my people what's possible. It might not be perfect, but it shows you what's possible. This is my right hand to God. And you tell me, you kick me under the table if I'm being too transparent. Our first month, we did about $5,000. From here, from this table or from the kitchen table. Within about 3 months, 3 to 4 months, we had got some momentum. We had learned how to run ads and everything. Our marketing and stuff was better. We was up to about $40,000 a month. We rode that roller coaster and still did that month over month over month. Then the economy came and stuff started to take a dip and we got to like 10, 20, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Whatever. But on my worst day, we still own it. Yeah. We still own it. Even after we pay for everything, we still own it. And if we ever made the decision to sell it, that money, Sean, myself, our kids, our grandkids can take that money and put it into something else. Real estate, other investment vehicles. If I had a 9 to 5, I couldn't do that. Right. So I'm not saying that one is better than the other. They both have their place. Mm-hmm. But you have to have the financial tools in your toolbox to be able to make that thing go. I know some people who got a 9 to 5. They got the right tools and the right coaching and the right consulting. they can make that thing go better than somebody would have.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what you have, it's what you do with it.
Exactly.
It's what you have is what you do with it. So that's why these conversations are necessary, is because in the privacy of everybody else's home, they're disciplining their kids to have these conversations starting at the age of like 8. Mm-hmm. So when we talk about money, Kennedy and Caleb come to the table with their notebook like, it's not boring for them.
Right.
They don't listen to a video like this because we listen to financial podcasts all the time in the car. They don't hear that and then tune it out. Mm-hmm. Our people love sport and play. We love sports and play. When it comes to talking money, business, self-improvement, personal development, motivation, girl, these things make our people itch. Mm-hmm. There's a small collective community of people where we love that. You get what I'm saying? And we seek that. But for the masses, we run from that. Yeah. We want to be entertained. We want the feel-good conversations. Our lights can be on the verge of getting cut off, but we still want to laugh and joke and play. But your kids can't eat off of that. And they're going to be worse off than you because the systems that are being created as we speak are designed to make their kids more wealthy and yours more broke. Mm. So if you don't figure out how to sit down and become disciplined and figure out that which you do not know, if you're not sleeping under a bridge, your children will. Mm. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. If I offend anybody, I apologize. But you won't say you were not warned. You are seeing it even within the past 24 months. Your money is shrinking. It's not going as far. It's becoming harder and harder and harder to survive. Mm-hmm. Whether you got one income or two incomes. It's just going to get more tough. All I do is study. I'm studying. When y'all not seeing me, I'm studying. I'm studying. And I'm telling you, what I'm seeing, they're estimating Black and brown households over the next 5 years and beyond will have a negative net worth. Mm-hmm. A negative net worth. Going into debt is being glorified. Going into debt is being glorified. And it's okay to go ahead and finance stuff as long as you got the income to pay for it. When the bill come due, what happens when your company got to make cuts? Somebody got to go. What's the game plan then? One income is too close to zero. And the same thing that you give permission to feed you is the same thing that you give permission to starve you. So if you scrambling all your eggs in one basket, whatever that basket is, you're doing yourself a disservice. And I'm not just saying this to say, go to the website and get an ebook. I'm saying you have to figure out what the plan is. If you don't trust my voice to coach you into this next round and this next season, you got to find somebody. You have to find somebody. You have to. Mm-hmm. You got to find somebody, baby. You have to find somebody that's looking and studying and seeing around corners. Because this has been going on. This has been brewing for a mighty long time. And this season that we're entering into is like nothing ever seen before. It's going to be worse than the Great Depression. This is not 2008. 2008 did not come off the back of a pandemic and off of a war and off of all of these things happening simultaneously. 2008, when the market went down in 2008, it was not a global economic crisis. It was a U.S. economic crisis. And back when the Great Depression happened, the dollar was backed by gold. The dollar is printed and it's not backed by anything. Mm-hmm. The government is printing what they call fiat currency. So all those stimulus checks that everybody was getting, remember they was hitting everybody's account? People in government was getting on their computer box and they was like, oh, the economy's down. We're going to send all these trillions of dollars. Just like with a spreadsheet, you control the narrative of the spreadsheet. You think they're not doing that with the budget? So we watching the news and people like, oh, we're not in a recession. We're not in a recession. According to whose numbers? Girl, you can get on a spreadsheet and change and manipulate any numbers. Anybody ever heard of a profit and loss statement? Mm-hmm. You don't need somebody to tell you it's bad. Your bank account told you. Your Roth IRAs, your investment told you. Your retirement account told you. The gas pump told you. The fact that your credit cards are maxed out told you. You understand what I'm saying? The fact that you wake up and you got butterflies in your stomach. Before you thanking God, you checking your bank account to see what cleared, what didn't clear, what can you pay, what can you postpone. I already know. Not because I know you and your personal finances, but because statistics show me that that's where our community is. But I don't know. We've been on over an hour. And I know the conversation wasn't supposed to go there, but it's for somebody.
I think it was necessary.
It was necessary. Mm-hmm. So if you have not hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that share button. If you found value in what we talk about, if you find value in this new, revised, revamped, renovated platform, baby.
Renovated.
Girl, we gave her a facelift, girl. New paint, new curtains and things over here. But if you found value, share us with your community, with your tribe, with somebody. Because this is the direction we're going in.
Yeah.
This is where we're going. And we're not going to stop. And we know the numbers are going to drop because people are trying to find their place. You get what I'm saying? They're trying to see, do I vibe with it? Do I not? I get it. Mm-hmm. But as old people get off the boat and the bus, new people will get on. And the only way they're going to find us is if you guys like, share, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Come on, join the conversation, comment, all of the things, girl.
All the things, yeah.
Because we're not going to stop. We have an assignment. And the assignment, unfortunately, is bigger than me. Yeah. It's bigger than me. Because most of the people in leadership are not having these conversations. I don't know why. Churches get together once a week at least. Millions of people across this nation are getting together at least once a week for hours. Somebody at some point got to start having a real conversation about what's happening. We can't keep acting like the elephant ain't in the room. Mm-hmm. But if they won't, we will. So y'all make sure y'all have y'all notifications on.
Yep.
Hit that like button, hit that share button, and know that we love you and it ain't nothing you could do about it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And if you know somebody that you feel could benefit from the conversations, like Candy said, make sure you like and share. Or if you know somebody that could benefit from the services and stuff that Candy offers on her website, share the website too.
Yeah. Can you put the website in the comments for me? Sure. Let's go ahead and put the website in the comments and then we'll change it on the description as well.
Okay.
But we love you guys. I'm not going to keep you any longer. I know it's late and y'all got to get up, girl. We love you. How do I normally end it? I forgot.
Isn't it the best is yet to come?
The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Love you too, TSB. Love you, everybody. The best is yet to come, but baby, We still got some work to do. We got some work to do. Love y'all.
She said y'all got me and hubby talking about this. That's
yes. Yes.
I don't know if you guys can even see the comment. Good night.
How do I end
it?
it? Right here?
Yes.